The Oklahoma Sooners are set to take on Ole Miss this weekend in a big-time matchup, and the Oklahoma Sooners are ready to host a big recruiting weekend. And I say big, there's only two official visitors that the Oklahoma Sooners are looking to bring on, a target to flip from the University of Texas. You heard that right. So, of course, we got to break it all down. We got to talk about it because the Sooners are busy on the recruiting trail, trying to wrap up 2026, get a good start in 2027. And if the Oklahoma Sooners can win on Saturday, you're probably expecting a lot of momentum. So we're going to dive into it. Before we do, as always, I want to hear from y'all. Join the discussion. Jump in the comments below and give me your thoughts. Are you going to the Ole Miss game this weekend? Give me your score predictions. If you're new to the channel, this is where I ask you to hit that like and hit that subscribe button so you're not missing out on any Oklahoma content or any Oklahoma recruiting content, as we're constantly trying to keep you guys up to speed with everything that's going on. All right, so the Oklahoma Sooners are set to have a big recruiting weekend, or at least this is big in my eyes, because you have a flip target on campus from Penn State. You're looking to bring in one of your lone uncommitted targets in the 2026 class on for an official visit, get him committed. And the Oklahoma Sooners are looking at flipping a 2027 target from that's currently committed to the University of Texas. We're going to start off with the official visitors. And the first one, you might have guessed it right. We talked about him just a couple weeks ago. But that is going to be Jashir Rogers, the 5'11 wide receiver out of Middletown, Delaware, coming in at 180 pounds, a freaky, speedy wide receiver. If you guys remember, we watched that video. He goes by the nickname Spider-Man on Twitter, and he legitimately is a Spider-Man. So Oklahoma, I know, would love to have him be a part of this class. It could be a guy that could replace a Deion Burks or even an Isaiah Satania when they go move on to the NFL. But right now, he's got a total of 10 offers, and you've kind of seen his recruitment pick up a little bit as, you know, other schools are starting to notice his abilities and his talents, and they need to go try to find targets to add to their class because maybe they've missed out on a couple people. So he's going to be taking an official visit to Nebraska next week on November 1st, and then he'll be going to Bama on November 7th as well. So he still could remain committed to Penn State, but right now his recruitment is open. So we're going to have to see where the recruitment of Jashir Rogers goes. But the other uncommitted target for Oklahoma, where they're getting the last official visit, which is something Oklahoma, if you follow the trends, likes to do, is Daniel McMorris, the hometown kid right down the road at Norman North, coming in at 6'5". I believe he's like 265 now. I think 247 is a little off on those calculations, but 27 total offers. Texas Tech's really been in the mix here. I believe he took a official visit out to Cal and Northwestern in October as well. But Texas Tech got their official visit in September 12th, and he walked away from that visit uncommitted, which if you're an Oklahoma fan, maybe you feel pretty good about. Now, Daniel McMorris, this feels like the dream offer right here. So if you imagine Oklahoma just does what they're supposed to this weekend, they can land the commitment of Daniel McMorris next weekend when he plans on announcing his commitment, which I believe is going to be October 31st, which I think is a Friday. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Oklahoma's looking at making some strides in that recruitment. As far as other flip targets in the 2026 cycle goes, really one of the only targets that I'm really honed in on at the moment is Caden Hall, the 4-star safety down there at Florida. We had a chance to follow up with him. Right now, he's just kind of evaluating everything going on at Florida. He might stay committed while they hire a new coach and then, you know, decide what he needs to do. But I know the Oklahoma Sooners are in contact. They are pushing for a guy like Caden Hall, and that would be a big-time pickup. Additionally, I think Jaden Pettit is still in the mix for Oklahoma, although it doesn't look like Luke Fickell is going to get fired, so I don't think you can try to ride any momentum of Luke Fickell getting fired down there. A lot of people are going to ask about Davian Gross, the 4-star wide receiver, running back hybrid target that Oklahoma was going after that's currently committed to Florida. That just seems like a recruitment battle that Oklahoma's not going to win, as they didn't win it previously. So not holding my breath on Davian Gross, but you never know. Maybe something else changes on that side. But if you could just land Jaden Pettit and Jashir Rogers, that would be huge for this wide receiver class. But what about this flip target from the University of Texas that I was talking about? Because obviously the Oklahoma Sooner fans love going out there and trying to flip guys. Well, I am talking about Taven Epps. He's a 4-star linebacker out of Tustin, California, 6'4", 220 pounds. This is another Stacey Gage special for you. That's what we're going to call him, because Stacey Gage has been a monster addition for Oklahoma since he's been here. He has a lot of connections out there on the West Coast, and this is another proof to the pudding right here. So Taven Epps, committed to Texas right now, the number 99th player in the 2027 recruiting cycle. He's got a total of 34 offers. And when you go look at the offer list, it's kind of the who's who of college football and maybe a little bit more that wants him. So if you're Oklahoma, you're Brent Venables, you understand why they want to get in there. Greg Biggins had this to write up about Taven Epps, and even said that he reminds him of Isaiah Simmons, another Brent Venables special. Epps is one of the nation's most versatile defensive players. He played safety for the Tillers last season, but moved to linebacker this season and has the frame potentially to even grow in the edge rusher by the time he's ready for college. At 6'4", 210 pounds, Epps is a jumbo athlete who runs well and plays a physical game. He has a basketball background and has athleticism pops on the hardwood as well. He's very comfortable playing in space and should be a dominant pass rusher in blitz situations this fall. He's easily among the most complete defensive players in the region. So when I hear of a guy that is a linebacker that can be an edge rusher, I think of a guy that is a cheetah. And Greg Biggins said he reminds him of Isaiah Simmons, who was a cheetah. So very interesting comp there. Very interesting write-up by Greg Biggins. If you look at what he did last year, 10 games, 38 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, 11 QB hurries, 1 interceptions. He had 6 pass breakups. And on the offensive side of the ball, got 7 catches, 92 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now, he did take an official visit to USC. An unofficial visit to USC. He took an unofficial visit to Ohio State. He attended the Alabama camp this summer. So, again, I told you, it's the who's who of college football that wants this kid. But Brent Venables and this linebacker staff getting involved for Taven, like, this is big in my opinion. Like, I definitely think Oklahoma can make this flip happen if they make him feel prioritized and they show him, you know, hey, like, we want you to be one of our certified dudes in this class. And Oklahoma is making a case to probably have the best class in 2027 so far, as they're getting a lot of momentum on the recruiting trail, especially as they continue to win more games. So those are going to be a couple of the visitors on campus this weekend. You're going to have some commits like Trace Rudd and Brian Harris. I'd imagine Bo Bentley's going to be there and some other guys. So obviously you'll have your commits there, but it's going to be a big recruiting weekend for Oklahoma. If you could go 3 for 3 on these guys, Oklahoma's going to be in some mighty good shape. So I want to hear from y'all. Jump in the comments below. Join the discussion. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and you hit that subscribe button.